I think I look at it as like harvest needs to be completed for it to be the new year. I wouldn't look at harvest, like the start of harvest starting a new
Correct.
year.
The start of harvest is the end of the
Yep.
year.
Yep. So Brady, I have a question for you. What's it like when the corn is high, but the chaos is higher?
It's a lot of things, but it's never boring. This is the Farm Wife Files, life between the rows. It's episode 5.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Feels kind of weird to be back into the grind.
Yeah, but what does grind mean at this point?
Right, I don't know.
We're grinding on so many different things in our life that I feel like we've always been grinding. It's just been on different aspects of our life.
Yeah. The guys are finally rolling full time.
Yeah.
So that's been... I used to really get anxious about that, but now I think I'd rather have them
just get it over and done with.
Yeah.
Yeah. This rain is throwing a loop into all the plans. But...
I know. I love a rain day, and it's nice to see Tyler again, but it's kind of like it's going to get Taylin and I out of our routines, and then we're going to have to start all over again.
Yep.
And she's really she comprehends that Dad's not here this year.
Yeah.
So it's just been a little bit rougher. But
and you want to try to keep that routine, so you kind of want to maybe kick Tyler out of the house for a little bit, but at the same time you want to see your husband and have a relationship. And
yeah,
so
for sure.
That's tough.
Well, and I think I get into such a swing when harvest is fully going, whereas, we have the routine here at the house, but then as far as feeding the guys too, last week I had a busy week of stuff going on, so at the beginning of the week, I'm like, okay, I can feed you this day, this day, this day. Send me a text of how many meals we need. And then I just, I do groceries and I know what I'm going to make. And so then when we get a rain like this or, they break down or something, it just totally throws me off my rocker. So, yeah. Thank the Lord for the rain. Moisture is always nice and good, but it's just throws kind of a kink in the plans.
Yep. But beans are done. So
yes, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
I'm just like, it's kind of like that middle point that you finally get to the point where you're like, okay, we can finish this out.
I start counting down acres when we hit corn.
Yeah.
When we finally get back to corn. Because the beginning of the year is always a little bit weird. We're just trying to find whatever's dry to cut. So whether that's corn or beans, usually it's a little bit of corn first, and then we'll go on to beans and get all those done like we did this year. But I don't even ask in the beginning because it almost overwhelms me. I'm like, I don't want to know the full amount of acres. Like, let's get to half, and then we'll start kind of count down. Okay, how many did you get done today? And then it's not as overwhelming.
Yeah, but it's different where you're saying, okay, I have 5 fields left versus I have, X amount of acres left.
See, I would rather go by acres.
I would rather do acres too, because a field could mean 240.
Exactly.
You don't know what each of those fields are. So I would rather know, are they 5 big fields? Right. I would much rather know by acres too.
Yeah, and I think everybody's kind of getting a rain in the area. I think everybody's pretty well at a halt right now. Mm-hmm. We had 340 in our gauge this morning.
Yeah.
So...
That's awesome.
Which is kind of unheard of. You guys had what?
Right under 2.
Yeah, but you guys are kind of dry country down there.
We are.
Always get a lot of rain.
But at the same time, that rain helped grass, the cold season grass, and because we still have cows out in pasture, so that will help. But yeah, I think just with harvest in general, it kind of is also like at the start of a year. Like, of course, the calendar year starts at January.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like it's that way for us.
No.
At least not for me.
No.
But it's a little different, too, because where I don't have, like, the 9-to-5 job to go to, where everybody else is living, like, normal lives, where I'm home all the time, it's kind of like that's Tyler and I's, like, fiscal year. Like, it's just...
Right. And is it the start of a fiscal year or is it end of fiscal year? I think you can look at it both ways.
Yeah, no, I probably look at it like the New Year. Like, harvest is... I think I look at the end of harvest, like, when we get to that Christmas time, New Year's Eve, that's how I look at the end of harvest. And then once we finish harvest, and I don't know, this may sound weird and maybe I'm the only one that feels that way, but do you feel like there's just like a different feeling in the air when we finish cutting that day?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
Like
it's
it almost feels like New Year's Eve or
yeah, like, okay, we can breathe. We have
Yes.
like maybe just a few weeks to just get our life back on track, get the laundry
Yes.
done, get
Yeah.
the, baseboards washed in the house, like that type of stuff. And it's
Yes.
just like, okay,
It's
yeah.
just kind of a refreshing feeling.
Yeah.
Like it's just the air feels a little different. It's like, it's all out. Everything, the year went good.
Yep.
We got through the year, like, and yeah, I don't know. That's probably why I correlate it to being like similar to New Year, because once harvest is done, it's like, we start putting anhydrous on and
You're
the year
starting to
starts
prepare
over.
for the next year, next harvest. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with you. I think I look at it as like harvest needs to be completed for it to be the new year. I wouldn't look at harvest, like the start of harvest starting a new year.
Correct. The start of harvest is the end of the
Yep.
year.
Yep. It's
Yep.
the holiday season for,
Yeah.
and I mean, if you look at it from a calendar year, but
Yeah, I wonder if other farm wives feel that way.
I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, please do. I'm kind of interested in just how people view that, and have you always felt that way with Cody farming, or
I think it's
because
really
it's different with
hard.
you having a job, other people are.
Yeah, I also think it's different because like our operation is diversified. Like we don't just have row crop. So as soon as a
You
row
guys get
crop,
kind of amped up for calving and
yeah, and that's typically at the I mean, we say it's like end of January, Valentine's Day is typically what we try to start calving with, but because the operation is so diversified, it is like okay, now that harvest is done, I really need to ramp up my work in the cattle. We're going to start weaning cows here soon. So as soon as harvest is done or at the end, like near harvest, like we're weaning cows. And then
you guys don't necessarily get that.
We don't get
break.
that off-season break.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. Summer is probably the biggest off-season for us.
On grass and
yeah, but then at the same time, that's working on pivots. And so it's a give and take model, I would say.
Well, and that would be interesting to hear Cody and Tyler's perspective on that, because where Matt, owns part of the irrigation business, Tyler still, like, his role is more the farm. Whereas, Cody will go with Matt and do the pivots and stuff, and Tyler takes care of our pivots and services our stuff, and then is working on the farm day to day. That just looks different for them.
Yeah.
That's probably the, like, one time in the year where they're not, like, together working side by side, I would say.
Yeah, for consistently the whole day.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that with that change, Tyler understands his role. Cody also understands his role.
Right.
But they gel still so well together. And it's nice because summer is just so chaotic for just all of us.
Yeah, it is. I think farm, it goes down a little bit. I mean, that's dependent on if we get rain, which this year we've been so blessed. It has been such a wet year. I think we maybe did 6 circles. I mean, we really did not run pivots like we have in years prior. So that helped. But as far as like our life schedule, oh my gosh, there's just, and I don't understand it. I don't know. And I know that we do have a little bit more leeway as far as like traveling. So maybe I do a little bit more like booking for my immediate family so we can go do stuff. But still, like, I swear there's always a scheduled event or just something. I mean, we have a book club that we do, and we quit that through the summer because we're just so busy. Like, half the people can't show up because we can't find a time.
Someone's getting married or someone's going on a summer vacation and not all of us have kids. And so it's just wild to even think like, oh, yep, I'm busy this weekend and I don't even have a child.
And think when the kids are grown up and have their own activities.
Like,
because Talon doesn't have anything right now.
No.
And we're still so, like, the summer, everybody always, towards the end of the summer, they're like, oh gosh, harvest time, how you feeling? You getting anxious about Tyler being gone? And I'm like, no, that means we don't have plans, so I don't have to go anywhere. Like, I'm so ready just to be home for a consistent amount of time. Which, yes, the hustle and bustle of harvest is, you got to get into the rhythm of it. So that's a thing in itself. But as far as just being able to, like, be home and enjoy home and not have to pack a bag for myself, for Taylor, get my house ready to be shut down for the weekend. Then get back and try and get back into that routine. And
yeah, I think with trying to get back in the routine or just like in harvest, we don't have plans. It's called like the harvest bubble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like we sometimes forget what day of the week it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're cutting on Sundays, we're cutting on Saturdays, we're cutting on a Wednesday evening. Yep. I mean, like you just forget what day of the week it is. But I think, especially as farm wives, we come to a point where we can have a good group of people that understand that we're in that harvest bubble, and we can say no to people and no one takes offense to it.
And I think too, I get so just like, I guess kind of putting my head down and just trying to get through the season. And because especially being pregnant now too, it's like the days can just feel really long. So where Tyler doesn't get home until Taylor's well asleep and I'm getting ready for bed, it really feels tedious some days. So I really have to like put my head down, focus, like know that this time is going to end. Like this isn't going to last forever.
Right.
Because it can be very overwhelming to think, oh my gosh, I've got a month of doing this alone. And it's just exhausting. And so I kind of feel like I do in the beginning of the season, I almost distance myself. Whereas I need to be like planning things for Taylor and I to go do maybe once a week with friends, or like how we went to Vala's, like things like that to keep my schedule, to at least have one thing to get out of the house, to socialize and to do, to kind of get me out of that funk of, oh my gosh, I'm doing this alone. The days are hard. The days are long. And just do something different.
Something to look forward to. Like,
yes.
It's not just, and it's something fun to look forward to, because I have things on my calendar where I'm dreading that day because I just don't want it to come type thing. But doing those fun things that are fun for the kids and then fun for us adults, like that's the fun part.
Well, and as a parent, it's nice to, even if it's not like a huge ordeal, like it didn't need to be Vala's, like that was so much fun. But I'm just saying, to have something on the schedule to take the kids to go do, like with new scenery, it's just nice. It makes the day go by faster, because being at home, it's just, I'm sure it's tedious for Taylor too, it's just, she's at daycare this morning and she was so excited to go. Like, she only goes once, like, for 4 hours once a week. But she is, like, it's so nice we've gotten to a point. She is excited. That's all she wants to talk about. She knows that's where she's going. And then now when I go pick her up, she doesn't want to leave. Yeah. She wants me to stay and play. And I'm like, no, we have to go. So just to have that something to look forward, whether it's me or her, I think it's good for our mental. To just get us out of the rhythm and the routine of the long, tedious harvest days.
Yeah. Because I always sometimes feel like those long, tedious days, they're long, like we said, but we also come down to, sometimes I feel like I can't commit to things, or I have to say no, and then I feel guilty inside, and I feel like a bad friend, or I feel like a bad wife, or whatever, that it's hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to, I think our personalities are hard too, because we really lack, like, we'll put ourselves out to fulfill other things.
Yep.
And which I think, I prefer having that personality, I guess. I can't change it, but I just, like, I want to be able to be helpful and be there for people. But yeah, there does get a point, like towards the end of summer, where we've just been so busy and I've been filling everybody else's cups, and I don't feel like I've necessarily gotten that for myself, or I'm just to the point, like I said, I'll plan a couple trips for my immediate family, but it's like, I'm the one that has to do all the planning, all the packing, all the, catering to everybody when we go. It's like we get home and I'm like, did I get anything out of that? Like, I planned this whole thing and it's like, was it even that enjoyable? Like, it was just a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, but like our friends' trips, for example, like sometimes, like we went down to Milford just this last summer, and it was close. Before summer. It was so close. It was an easy drive, different scenery, like you talked about. But it was what's our plans? Well, we don't really have plans. Perfect.
Yeah, like, that was kind of nice.
I love those.
And it was it was for Memorial Weekend. So, it was kind of a cruddy weekend, just, rainy and cold. We didn't even bring the boat down with us.
No.
But still, I think it was nice to just like cook supper together or like play games or
just have that connection with each other
Yeah.
because sometimes we miss out on that. And granted, Memorial Weekend, like we don't really have a ton. I mean, it's the start of the busyness
Yep.
for the summer, I would
Yeah,
say.
right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
where we wrap up with planting and spraying and the guys kind of start to relax too.
and so it's always fun to go do those types of things, but
Yeah.
also not jam pack those trips with so much just things that is it enjoyable for you to do? Like,
Well, and we've traveled so much together, like our little friend group. I think we have a good like gel when we do trips. Like when we went to Kentucky, we went out for the National Farm Show. So obviously we had that on our agenda. But then the other days, you know, we maybe booked like one thing for the day. Because I had a toddler and our other friends didn't make it because their kiddo was sick. But if they would have, you know, them having a toddler as well, it's nice to not, because it's kind of anxiety inducing to be like, oh my gosh, we have a whole list from 8 to 5 of stuff we want to do. And I don't know how my toddler's going to handle that.
or we have reservations at 10 a.m.
Yes.
and they slept like shit
Yes.
the whole night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And well, and also you said that our friend Erin couldn't make it and her little family, her little one got sick. Just trying to match up their sleep schedules too. If
Yeah.
Taylin's time wouldn't have lined up with Randall's, like
Right.
what would that look like? And yeah, it's just so, but it was fun. It's just kind of nice to just like sit back and be like, all right, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to order DoorDash for supper.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
Yeah. And we always do good about one afternoon or one day the girls will go do something and then another afternoon or another day the guys will go do something.
Right.
So we can kind of have that separate time for ourselves too where we do get like a little bit of kid free time.
Yes.
So that's been set up nice. But, you know, just going back to like routine through whether it's the friend trips or whether it's through the summer or now being in harvest, just, you know, having that. I know, you know, you don't have kids, but you still have, I'm sure you still have a routine.
Oh,
and with
yes.
Cody being, which Cody's gone a lot regardless, but harvest is, it's a lot.
It's a different routine. You're
is.
not getting home at 5 p.m. You're getting home at 9 p.m.
Yes. And then he still has chores and everything on top of that. So, you know, for everybody, it's just like you get into your own routine and then not anything against our husbands. Like, this sounds bad, but I do mean it as a positive. It's like we kind of just don't think about them. Like,
Right.
I know that Tyler's like cutting and he's got all that on his plate. And it's not that I don't worry about him or think about him, but it's just like I don't plan on him, or Taylor and I just kind of live our life and Tyler's living his life, honestly.
Do you feel like sometimes that, like your guys' connection as husband and wife or mom and dad or whatever, sometimes get put on the back burner, or especially during harvest?
Yeah. I mean, Tyler and I have always had the struggle about, and we've touched on this before, just how he prioritizes the farm.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, if you're not married to a farmer, you don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not putting down anybody else's occupation because I'm sure there are lines of work where they're gone.
Firefighters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 24-hour shifts. Not all of them, but yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's so many other occupations where, you know, it could look similar as far as how much they're gone. But what's different with the farm is it's rolled into that legacy where it's Tyler's.
Mm-hmm.
It's his family's. It's generations of blood, sweat, and tears. I kind of hate that saying, but it really is. Just not only is it the work ethic that goes into it of the 15, 16-hour days and prioritizing, oh, I need to work, but it's the
prioritization.
Thank you. Of adding on to that legacy and making sure it succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was really hard in the beginning of my marriage because I didn't understand that.
I would 1000% agree to that.
Where I'm just like, where it felt more of a hurt to me because why are you not prioritizing our marriage? Like, that's all I'm doing in my head and you're not doing any little bit of it. Like, the farm is continuously coming first. And I found that so hurtful. But I think having kids too did help, or even just being married longer. But knowing like Tyler, obviously, and his dad in the hired hands, but Tyler's what's going to make this go to the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look away from the work that's being done during the day and getting the crops out of the ground or getting the seed planted, like all that's a lot in itself. But even just the mental load of knowing he's the line between this being the last generation and it going to another generation. Like that's a lot.
Well, it's a lot of, because the kids are so small. Well, and I say that kids as in like Branson's here right now, but it can be a lot of, okay, what if my kids grow up and they don't want to do anything with the farm? Is my work right now going to be worth it? Am I really putting all this blood, sweat, and tears into this farm to pass it down to something? And what if my kids don't want to do it? Like, do you ever feel like sometimes you think about that?
You know, I don't know that Tyler and I, like, I don't know that I've ever actually sat down and asked him that, but I'm more sentimental. Tyler is not a sentimental person. I mean, at my baby shower for Branson, Nancy got me that puzzle that was Matt's when he was growing up.
Yeah.
And, like, put a tear in my eye. Like, that kind of stuff means the world to me. Like, love it. And Tyler, oh, okay. Like, he can care less. And it's his family.
Well, and then, like, Matt, you turn to Matt and you're like, Matt, do you remember this? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, literally. They just, and I don't know if that's a guy. Well, no, because my dad's kind of sentimental about stuff. So personality, I don't know. But yeah, they just could care less. And I'm like over here in tears because I just love it so much. So I think it's kind of like that with the farm. Like, I think about, oh my gosh, like, I am missing out on my husband so much because he's working so hard. And like, there's things in our life right now that he doesn't get to be a part of, or I have to do alone. And not that that the farm has only been a con. Like, you look at any of my social media or my TikTok, like, I love the life that we live. I love being a farm wife. Like, I knew this is what I always wanted to be a part of and do. But it's hard to think, gosh, we're putting in all this work and we're making all these sacrifices. What if our kids don't want it? And Tyler's made comments like, oh, well, we'll just sell out and we'll have a heck of a retirement.
Oh, okay. No, Tyler.
Yeah, which I guess is one way to look at it. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. That's really anxiety inducing for me.
That kind of brings me into like a thought in my mind is like, I know my husband is very tough. Excuse me. And I think with Cody specifically, there's like that stressful period of time where they are balls to the walls. They are trying to get things done. But that one minor inconvenience just sets them off. And I'm like, you don't realize how many minor inconveniences that I just had. And I still have to be an adult and I cannot yell or scream or throw a toddler tantrum sometimes. I'm not saying that Cody does that. But there comes to a point where I have to respect that his stress is completely different than my stress.
Right.
And I struggle with that sometimes. I mean, I just got off of a huge work week, beyond tired. I mean, and he literally looked at me last night and he goes, well, I wasn't going to tell you this until after your event got done, but I hit a deer with the side-by-side. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I lost it on him. I'm like, why would you wait to tell me this? And he goes, well, I almost flipped it too. I was going so fast. And I was just like, well, that's your own fault. Yeah. I wish you would have flipped it because it would have taught you something.
Well, there's built-in roll cages, but they don't wear the seatbelt.
No.
Tyler buckles his behind him.
Yeah, it doesn't go over 10 miles per hour if you don't have it buckled. Yeah, no, but Cody's is just always buckled too. But I think that's one thing is like you have this emotional weight of whatever title that you have, whether that's husband, whether that's wife, mom, dad, whatever.
Yeah.
There's that emotional weight behind it and only that one person understands that. And only that one person will understand the stuff that is putting on top of you or like that you understand. Because like with you not only feed your toddler and your husband, but you also have to feed yourself. But then you take farm meals out for the whole crew. And so it's what do you have to plan? Do you have to?
Which I actually look forward to it because just being at home all day with a toddler, like I say, does get tedious. So it is nice to have that to look forward to. And I think the only con to it is like Talon is obviously just extremely busy right now. And so having to like slow myself down and have some patience so she can I'm making air quotes right now for those of you listening, but
Right.
so she can help.
Right.
That has been a lesson for me. But when I pray, I really do ask God for patience, and I really struggled with feeling like he was not helping me with that. But then a friend made the comment, we pray for patience and we ask God to help us with patience. Well, he's giving us tasks to teach us patience. He doesn't just give it to us. He teaches us, how to have patience.
He's going to make you work for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was really humbling for me. I needed to hear that. So that's kind of a reminder. This is what kids are for, to slow me down, to put me in the moment. And so that's nice. But like Tyler even makes the comments, you just made supper last night. You don't have to make it again. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I strictly, I look forward to doing it. I like to cook. Now, there are days where Taylin is tired or she doesn't want to, air quote, help.
Right.
So those are days that we have a little more screen time. Or we get out her super messy puzzles and games that I later have to pick up out of my living room.
But it keeps her entertained for
Yeah,
you
exactly.
to get your tasks done.
So
right.
Those days are more stressful, but it still doesn't take the enjoyment out of it.
I'm glad that you enjoy it because I do not.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Like, I'll come help. I like in years previously, like when we didn't have a toddler running around the kitchen or whatever, but I would be like, all right, here's a gift card to Sam's Club or thanks for feeding my husband so I don't have to. I think it's, do you feel like feeding that specific crew, because it is a larger crew because of harvest, like there's other people that come in or help. Do you feel like it's like an unspoken like expectation of you to do it?
No, I don't think any of them expect it.
No,
but they're always very appreciative of it.
Yes.
But I think, because you know how I am, I love to host. I love like gift giving. I love, like my love language is filling other people's cups. And so it's just been funny because like our hired guy, John, he's kind of on this like health journey. I don't know what to call it. He seems to be doing great. He makes his own like meals and stuff for him. But I've kind of tried to keep that in mind. Like, I don't just want to throw a Snickers bar in his bag. Like, or then Bruce, he's diabetic. So, I try to, like, that sometimes gives me anxiety because I want to, like, I want everybody's meals to be catered to them.
You're catering back to these people besides just putting your stuff first, though, Brady.
I know.
No, but I think they also very much enjoy that and love that you're thinking of them in that way.
Yeah, so or like Cody, though I knew he wasn't out there the one day, and so I made something and I didn't have a side, but and they were down at the creek, so it was, they're running a little bit slower, so I did side salads. So I'm like, and Cody's not there. That's perfect because he's not going to eat that.
No.
John's on this health journey. So great. Check that box. I could do light salad dressing for Bruce. Check that box. Like, so that was a good day. But there's times like that where I just can't, like, especially towards the end of the year where I'm not buying groceries every week to like cater to a certain meal. It's like, you guys are going to get what you get. And it is what it is. And they never complain about it. They are still always thankful. The only comment I've ever gotten, and it's not even from the guys, it's they tell Tyler and then Tyler tells me, but that I made their portions too big. So the one day
I would rather have a portion too big than too small, though.
Well, they have no willpower, so they, they say, okay, I'm only going to eat half. Well, they eat the whole thing. Which like, somehow that's my fault.
Or it's literally like if they're packing their lunch, because you bring out the meal in the evening time, they're in their lunchbox at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you've only been in the pictures eating a sandwich at 10. I know. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that. Like, what do you want to buy, lock boxes that unlock or like cat feeders? Like, they go off at a certain time. Like
that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think going back to like the whole thankful thing, you might not get a text message saying
and I don't expect one.
No, but the thankfulness of a empty container being returned back to you is I mean, it's a thankfulness there.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, you might not know that they throw it out the window. They're not doing that. Right. But like, that's a whole different type of thank you because if it comes back to you and it's only half eaten,
that would hurt my feelings.
Right.
I wouldn't want to know that.
Please feed it to the coons out in the field before
I see that.
Not that any of them would do that, but
no, it was hilarious though because I had gotten that comment from Tyler from Bruce that I gave him way too many meatballs, and it wasn't.
Was that the day that I was out Was it just this last time? Because I was out and you made meatballs and it was like
Oh,
cheesy
is that?
potatoes
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
a blueberry cobbler.
Yes, yeah. So that was that meal. Well, then the next day I made, or maybe that was when Cody wasn't there, I did homemade runzas, but I did a different dough because I had some sourdough discard that I wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I need to just get rid of it. So I made these runzas, and they were the exact same size as the runzas that you go buy at Runza. They were perfect. I put them on the pan after I'd rolled them with the mixture and was waiting for my oven to preheat, so I had them covered. Oh my gosh. So they rose on the pan, and then they doubled in size in the oven. So I'm like, when I dropped them off to the guys, John was the first one. He was in the semi, and I'm like, okay, you're going to open this, and I want to tell you, you can cut it in half and save the rest for later because I used it in a recipe and they are humongous. They were literally like this big.
Like 8 inches, 9 inches long.
Yes. And everybody, I had one too, and I don't like Runzas from Runza. Like, I always get a cheeseburger, but they were...
You can tell that you're from Kansas.
Yeah, I'm not a big Runza person.
Oh, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, but these ones were good. I liked the homemade ones. But yeah, it was just funny that I was actively trying to, like, dim down the portions and completely failed at that.
What's your favorite to go? Okay, I'm going to ask this question. Like, what is your favorite to go like harvest meal? And then we'll get into what do you think the guys is. Okay.
Gosh, I don't know. I've made a lot of stuff. I really like sliders, but I like sliders even when I make them for my parties or whatever. Like, and I don't know that the guys love those because it's basically what they've been eating for lunch every day, just warmed up. But I do seasonings and
because I usually just do a warm sandwich hits a lot different than a cold sandwich,
right? So, and especially when you don't have to make it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Has Cody? I will say one thing, and I have not made it in probably 2 years, but there was one day where I did not have a dessert, and I had normally I'll have Tyler makes me buy bulk candy bars for Harvest. And we were probably getting to the end, so I did not have a lot of dessert options or cookies or anything. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Well, I had an Oreo pie crust. So I had 6 Oreos left in a bag, crumbled those up. I had a container of Cool Whip and cream cheese. So I made an Oreo dessert, an Oreo cream cheese. Oh my gosh, Cody talked about that for a year. And I'm like, there are desserts I spend a day, cinnamon rolls, homemade cinnamon rolls, and no comments. And this freaking pie I threw together within 10 minutes, he just raved about. And I don't think I've made it since because I don't know how I made it. I just threw it together.
No, and you can't remake it because you literally just threw it together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing with Cody, and I'll get back to the whole, what you think the guy's favorite meal is, but he grew up on you have a main dish, a side, maybe 2 sides, give or take, but you always have dessert.
Really?
I grew up where it was we didn't have dessert every single meal. And so
same here.
I love a sweet tooth every once in a while, but I have a bag of Baker's candies in my fridge, and one Baker's candy is enough for my sweet tooth.
Really?
I'm good. Where he's I want cookies and I want Texas sheet cake.
Cream.
Yeah, he needs to stop the ice cream though. For anyone that does not know Cody, he's lactose intolerant. Undiagnosed, but I'm diagnosing him.
Yeah, and in the summertime, they go to the C-store every day after lunch and get a Blizzard.
It's so bad. And then you're enabling the behavior giving him a free Blizzard because you pay for it for his birthday.
Yeah, well, but what else he doesn't want anything else for his birthday.
No, but you just hate me for it because I'm going to have to deal with it. But no,
that's funny.
Overall, I think the guy's Cody's favorite field meal is anything that's delivered to him that he doesn't have to make and that is hot. Right. So, I mean, I'm just going to point blank say that out there. But he is a picky eater.
He kind of is.
So for him to say that he likes the meal is a mental no. Oh, I should probably make that. I'm not going to because I don't want to. But it is nice. Last night, I think actually he would love a steak every single field meal.
Would he seriously?
I think so.
See, and I don't do honestly the only meal, not the only. I mean, I'm sure there's some where they have to use silverware, but they love lasagna. Well, Tyler loves lasagna.
Cody probably does not.
Yeah, so But you know what? He says he doesn't like pasta, but he just raves about that Cajun pasta from the golf course.
I know. And then when we go to Omaha, because it's from Mouth of the South in Omaha, that's where it's from. And they always cater the golf tournament that I help at. And he doesn't want to eat there. Like, it's an actual restaurant that you can go to. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But he loves this Cajun pasta. Yeah. And then I make like this sausage pasta that he has always requested. I got the recipe from Brooke. And I want to say her dad made it. But anyway, really good. I made it one time. Cody loved it. And I'm like, you always yell at me about wanting pasta. Yeah. But then you ask me to make these things. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, it's just hilarious when he shows up for like a second day. What are you eating? Oh, freaking pasta. Leftover pasta.
I could live off of pasta.
Oh, I could too. Yeah, I love pasta. It. Carbs. I love carbs. Yes. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But no, lasagna is probably the only like actually messy meal I make. Otherwise, I try to do like some sort of, like I did French dip wraps, which they were kind of ugly, but they were super easy. It was from another farm wife on TikTok that I saw. Or like if I'm in a real hurry and I don't want to make homemade dough, I just use like a pizza crust and I'll cut it and then just like put some sort of mixture inside of it. You know, whether it's like a chicken bacon ranch or something to that effect where they can just have it in their hand and eat it. But yeah, I don't know. My meals are kind of all over the place.
I think that is good though.
Yeah, variety.
Right.
Because I don't know that I've really, really wanted to like almost send out a survey and say, send me ideas, because honest to God, I just run out of ideas. Like we get towards the end and I'm like, we're shooting in the dark here because I don't know what I'm making. Like we're getting out these ingredients and hopefully it turns out, which a lot of my concoctions do, but I really want to like send out a survey. They send me, and then every week I can go to the shop or send Tyler to the shop with a whiteboard and like I can have it wrote down.
So I think we maybe need to go out and force them to just tell us. Yeah. Not today. They're not out there today. But.
Right, yeah. When they're rolling again. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Like all the farm questions for when we feed them, or... Because there's been times, too, where Cody forgets lunch and you're not in the area.
No.
And so you'll text me or Tyler will call me, hey, could you grab Cody a lunch? Which Cody, I mean, I think he could live off of C-store pizza and Doritos. But there are times where it'd be nice to, like, because I have deli meat and stuff for Tyler all the time.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Like, Tyler likes roast beef, but I do not.
Cody would prefer ham, and I do not want ham. Like, see, I want turkey.
Exactly. So, like, that kind of stuff would be nice to, like, have in my wheelhouse, just so I know for those few times that happens.
Yeah. Just tell Cody to be responsible.
Yeah, that too.
He is responsible, but... There's sometimes where he's just, he wakes up.
Was he running late that day that you had to bring him lunch? Or did you just tell him you would bring him lunch?
No, I yelled at him. I was so mad. So I took off that Monday because I knew, gearing up for the week that I had ahead of time. Like, I knew I was going to be working. Because this was
coming up on your busy week.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a week ago today. I knew that this upcoming week I was going to be working 16, 18-hour days. Like, I was going to be leaving the house at 5 o'clock in the morning and getting home at 11 o'clock at night.
Right. Like, you were not going to be accessible.
No. And so I was just like, I'm going to be proactive about this. I'm going to work a little bit Monday morning, and then I'm just going to take off. And I told him, I said, I'm going to take off Monday for a little bit after I just get some things wrapped up or whatever. Right. And so then he texted me in the morning, well, I didn't bring my lunch, and can you also drop this off at the vet, and can you also pick this up from...
Oh my gosh.
And
had you not told him that you were taking off?
Exactly. I said, what would you have done if I didn't tell you I was taking off? And I said, did you ever consider what I wanted to do with my day off? I took this day off not because I had a doctor's appointment or I needed to go do this. It was... I knew that I needed that day just to like sit and relax and just be by myself. I said, did you ever consider
you were mentally preparing yourself for the chaotic week?
Right. And I said to him, I said, it would be nice if you ever considered what I wanted to do with my time. And he was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't think of it that way.
That respect of genuinely putting other people's first.
Right.
Other people's feelings first, or maybe expectations.
Well, and I told him, I said, I need to go mow. over at our place. And so I said, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to shower because allergies suck and I'm not going to sit in grass clippings. Yeah. So then I said, and then I will go get lunch, but do not expect lunch until 2 p.m. because by the time I get to town and then get to you, it's going to be 1:30, 2 o'clock. Yeah. And he was just like...
And they weren't down south anymore.
No, they were up north. And so, you add another 25 minutes drive. Yeah. And so that's why I was just like, that's on you. Like, you didn't bring your lunch.
And was he fine with that?
Yeah, he knew not to say anything.
Right.
After I was mean to him, but...
Well, and I think that kind of brings me to my scenario this morning with Tyler. You know, when he, obviously, I called you last night and I was a little bit irritated. And as were you.
Yeah.
Because here it is, 6:30 at night. And it had been raining for 2 hours. And Tyler, this is where we struggle as far as like each of our thought processes. He truly thinks that I think if there is a dribble of rain coming from the sky, there's nothing on the farm that we can be doing. I do not think that way.
No.
Tyler, if you're listening, I know you listen to this. I do not think that. I do not think that. I know that there's always a hidden list of shop work, of... I know that.
Yes.
I know that the farm does not strictly run when we are in busy season and then shuts down during the off season. But it's like, it's been downpouring for 2 hours. I knew on whatever day they fully greased everything. So I knew that that was checked off the list. So I'm like, okay, but then, and so I'm trying, I'm being gracious. I'm kind of saying like my devotional, like just thinking of devotionals and some affirmations, like be graceful. God calls me to have grace. So that is what I'm going to do. Well, then I get a snap and he's sitting in the shop with his legs crossed. And it's like,
no, the legs crossing is probably the thing that just
well, it's just like, it's the snap. And he always, like, he's not his face snap a lot unless he's in the combine where the phone's like in the holder. But normally it's of the floor of his feet or something. And so I can clearly see like his legs are crossed. So they're obviously chatting like, what are you talking about? It's been 2 hours that it's been downpouring. Taylor and I are now sitting down to have supper. Like,
come home.
It's just the respect factor. Like, we have been missing you. Like, Taylor, which she did get to see him because we had that wedding this weekend.
Right.
But still, like, her getting to see her dad was she woke up from her nap at 3 o'clock. It was 2:30. She saw him for 30 minutes because he had to be at the ceremony at 3 o'clock. So they left at 2:50, 2:45. So she saw him for 15 minutes there. And he's fully present when he's with her. But 15 minutes there. Then we get to the ceremony, her and I, and the girls in my family that weren't helping in the wedding ceremony. So he held her for majority of the ceremony itself. So for 30-ish minutes there. And then we got back, did the rehearsal, and then he went and put her down at 9 o'clock. So still, like, if you think about the increments of time, like, it's really not a sufficient amount of time. Like, and that kind of goes back to how you asked, like, how Tyler and I's connection is during harvest. Used to, that time was for me. But now I prioritize Taylor to have that relationship with her dad and that connection and time with her dad when he is here. So again, kind of putting myself on the back burner, but I understand whereas she doesn't.
Do you feel like sometimes I heard this one time where it's called like the 3-sentence rule, that when you get to your significant other, your spouse, whatever it is, that you don't say like anything about what they're currently doing. So if you're hopping in the combine, you say,
I've ever heard this.
Okay, so if you're hopping into the combine, for example, you don't ask a question about how are the beans doing? What's it yielding?
I do that all the time.
What is this? It's always, hey, I finally bought this jacket that I was really looking for. You have something that you don't connect over something that they're currently doing. You have a talking point that you connect on that isn't necessarily in the day-to-day
That might be
world.
Helpful for me because a lot of times it is like, oh, how's it yielding, or how wet is it, or are we in the single digits yet? Like,
right, naturally you're going to want to ask that.
Yes,
this is your livelihood.
But then Tyler doesn't ask about me, so then my feelings are hurt.
Well, and vice versa. So it's Tyler also asking you, how is Taylor today? How did she nap?
Right.
What did you guys do today?
Yep.
Like, it's not asking about that. It's literally saying, hey, I listened to this audiobook or I listened to this podcast and I really enjoyed it because, and then here it is.
That's a good idea.
Like, it's not anything to do about what you guys are currently doing or the current day-to-day life that you're doing. It's a connection point that you guys can connect on something what is
totally different.
Yes. Yeah. And it allows you guys to just be like, I am also a human. I also am able to do the things that I want to do.
Because we get in the rhythm where it's like, you know, he walks in the door when we're not busy season and, oh, how was Talon today? Was Talon good for you? Or, oh, how'd work day go? How was the farm? Was it productive today? You know, we just ask each other the exact same questions. And then it's an appreciative thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing to do, but if you allow yourself to have a connection outside of that day to day, I mean, it makes a world of difference.
That's really interesting to hear. I'm going to have to implement that.
Please do. But I also don't want a phone shoved in my face. Look at this funny TikTok. No,
oh my god.
It's really not that funny.
Yes.
Like
I know I do that too. But
I know.
I'm funny.
I was going to say I do that just as much as Cody does, but allow yourself to connect outside of just the current world or the current life that you're living right now.
Well, and I feel like that kind of, you know, is similar to the physical, like working, whereas, you know, I know that harvest isn't any different. I know that if I choose to make Tyler's day hard because of how I feel like I'm being treated, it's not going to change the outcome of harvest.
Right.
We still have to get out of the field.
Yep.
Me being upset and not being in a good mood because we are harvesting is not going to make it any better. And so I've kind of put that mindset in my head, but that's what leads me back to our tiff this morning because, so we had that last night where you and I kind of ranted on the phone. We didn't know where our husbands were. It's been pouring for 2 hours. You're obviously not cutting. And so then I feel like I definitely push that down because I'm trying to be graceful. But then when I push down, then one thing really ticks me off.
Yep.
You know, he was on the phone with his dad last night asking about what the plans were for today. And Tyler's like, and he had not mentioned this to me, so it was kind that he thought this on his own. But he said, you know, I'll probably be later out because I'm going to take Talon to daycare. Great. Well, his alarm goes off at 6:45. Okay. So he doesn't get up. Imagine that. But I'm up, as I had been up, rolling like a rotisserie chicken. That's about the point of pregnancy that I'm at. So I did not sleep great, but for whatever reason, I sleep good in the morning. But the alarm had went off, so here I'm up, and I told Tyler, it's 7:10. Yeah, I know. And I said, well, if you know that, why'd you set your alarm for 6:45? And then he went back to bed. So then Talon starts talking about 7:20 like she does, hence why I'm up before this time every day. But I'm in my head thinking, oh, I get to just have a chill morning because Tyler said he would do it. No. Guess who got up and got Talon ready so Tyler could get himself ready?
You.
Yes, and instead of Tyler apologizing and saying he's tired and he just wanted to sleep in as well, he tries to compensate. So he comes in the room and he said, well, I'm going to go drop Talon off and I'm going to stop at the C-store. Do you want something? And I said, well, yeah, I'd rather you, he knows I don't want you to ask because it just doesn't mean as much to me.
Right.
Like, I want you to just go out of your way to do it.
You know what I want.
Yes. And he's like, well, I thought I could get you either. So I was kind of rude about it. And he's like, well, you want chocolate milk or hot chocolate? And I said, well, considering we have chocolate milk in the fridge, I probably don't want that. Okay. Because I kind of had to check myself. And I'm like, okay, are you really mad that he's asking if you want chocolate milk or hot chocolate? Or are you mad that there's still dishes in the sink from last night and that you had to get up with Talon and that you had to wait for him after it was raining for 2 hours last night?
Yep.
Yeah, I need to do better with like self-regulation and maybe not letting it all build up. So then he just thinks, because in his mind, I'm pissed about chocolate milk or hot chocolate. Whereas it's not that. It's this line of stuff that's been building up.
And Cody and I literally just had that same conversation. He goes, why are you so mad at me? And I was just like, I'm not mad at you. I literally just clocked out. I worked for 3 hours on Monday. And then on Tuesday through Sunday, I worked all these days and I clocked out with over 80 hours. I am tired. And I still have this whole other work week that I still need to do my regular job. I said, I'm not mad at you. I have laundry on the couch. I have dishes in the sink. I just want to clean house. Well, you can do that tomorrow. And I'm like, no, because mentally I cannot do that. Like, I need a clean house, or I just need to
work
reset.
On this.
Yes. And so he was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
And
and Tyler too. Tyler did the dishes before he left.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. Oh my gosh, farm wives are like seasoned wives. If you're out there, please comment. And I would love to pull these comments up that are useful and helpful in future episodes. But if there is an easier way to communicate with your spouse so that we can get each other. Because I know I say this, I don't understand why God made us so different. But there's just like, men, they don't like, but, and this is for women too. Like, I don't comprehend all the time what Tyler's thinking or why he's doing this. And with Tyler, with me too.
Yeah, right. Harvest is just a wild time.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So the connection, between connections, routines, weather.
Feeding the crew.
Yeah. It's just, harvest is a lot.
Yeah. You're doing great.
It's good. Yeah. It's good. We're blessed. We love this life. But yeah, it's a lot. And it's okay that it's a lot.
Oh.
And I think all of us farm wives, we need to rally and support each other.
Yes.
Because we're all that we have right now.
Oh, literally all that we have right now. Seriously. Because some of us are also trying to wrangle a toddler on top of that, or multiple toddlers, or whatever the case is. But yes, no. But just harvest is a wild time.
It is.
End of story.
Yep. Well, yeah. Again, for all you listening, we would love to hear from you. Tips, seasoned farm wives, please, if you could give us any advice. Or even farm wives that have just started being wives, if you have a go-to field meal, please send them to us. Yeah. Because like I said, we get towards the end of the year and I'm concocting a bunch of stuff. So yeah, put them in the comments. Let us know. And then I would love to do an episode where we read off comments.
That would be lovely.
Yes.
So, all right.
We'll talk to you guys next time.
See you in episode 6.
They say a farmer's work is never done. Well, neither is ours.
Come back next week for a new episode of Life Between the Rows.